I would invite you to remain seated as Aaron Cross comes up for a word for all of us. Thank you, Aaron. Fourth time is the charm.
Fourth time's the charm. I bet you thought you were getting out early. Yeah. So, I'm Aaron Cross. I'm a member of the stewardship team, and I've been chosen, or voluntold, I think is the new word we've been using, to be parking lot cheerleader. So, woo! Yes. So, we're going to talk about parking lots and money and all kinds of things that make us uncomfortable. So, I just want to say one of the things we've been saying in our stewardship meetings is welcome begins in the parking lot. How can we be a welcoming church? If we go to the next slide and you zoom in from Google Earth, that's what our parking lot looks like. And that was actually a couple of years ago, so it probably looks significantly worse than that now. So that's the south lot. I thought we'd do a little bit of a history lesson and walk through kind of how we got to this point and what we're asking going forward. Back in 2014 and 15, we got multiple bids to do both the north lot and the south lot. We started a drive. You guys remember, maybe we were talking about it, those of you who were members back then, and we made quite a bit of progress. We raised quite a bit of money. We had enough money to do the north lot, and even a little bit more than that, and we were definitely on pace to have enough money, we thought, to do both lots. So we started the north lot, and it looked very level, so we thought the base was very good. Everyone seemed to imply that the base of the parking lot was solid. When they rolled a big heavy truck out there to start the process and test the base, the wheels of the trunk began to sink into the earth, several inches into the earth. And everybody's collective was like, oh no, so that can't be good. I think that's what Jack's comment was, I don't know much about parking lots, but that can't be good. Well, it wasn't. The estimate was $65,000 to do that lot, and after we had to do all the soil remediation and rebuild the base, ended up costing $118,000, almost double what we had estimated. So I guess you could say the soil sucks, right? It's terrible. And the thing is, we've had core samples on the south lot done that were donated to us, and they did 5 different samples, and as you might guess, it's the same soil. We have the same issues going on in the south lot. So you know how, like, when you have a project around the house and you might have to do the roof or the siding or something, and you have that feeling like, maybe if we just don't talk about it, it'll just go away? I think that's what's happened here. We stopped communicating about it. We've made some progress, and thank you very much for everyone that has given in the past to the project. We have quite a bit in reserves. The problem is we need quite a bit more money to get us over the goal line, and frankly, going through script, and it might take 50 years to get it done that pace. So we have this nagging feeling of, we have this cloud hanging over our head. We have a project. We need to just get it done. So that's where we're at. If you go to the next slide, that's a picture of what the lot would look like. It's a rendering. It was actually one of our members, who is now an architect, I believe, that was able to draw a picture for us. To kind of summarize, you can see that we have handicap spots, additional handicap spots, and they're located where handicap spots should be, right in front of the door. Their entrance and exit is unified, so it's not a little confusing as to which lane you're supposed to go in or go out. So we're still playing around with it a little bit. There may be, property team is working on different versions of this, but this is kind of what we're thinking. Maybe some angled spots instead of straight spots. There's all kinds of things that we're still working on. Problem is, it takes money to do this. The redesign added some cost. Waiting has cost us time and money. The last bid that we got was $40,000 higher than what it had been previously, and at the rate that the parking lot's deteriorating, it will continue to get worse. Could cost up to $100,000 more if we don't act relatively soon. Again, problem, don't have enough funds to do that. If we go to the next slide, we're estimating that we need another $175,000 to get this done. The job's more like a $300,000 job. The other thing is our campaign is called Pave It Forward because in the past and in the future here, we aren't just raising money for us, we're also raising some money towards Hephatha to do a couple of projects that they need done. That's the Holy Cross way. We raise money for ourselves, and we also are able to provide for our sister congregation too. If you look at this is how we can get there. We're kind of sticking with that theme. Stewardship's come up with this campaign where we're going to go with the transportation. So you can see SUV, truck, depending on what level of giving you're able to commit to, that represents a automobile or something. And if you multiply it across, 16 months is kind of what we're thinking. We know this is a big number. We know it's difficult. We're coming off, and we're asking this to be above and beyond normal giving. If you look at this over the next 16 months, however it works for you, if we get to these numbers, we can all work together to accomplish this. If you go to the next slide, there's a picture of the back of the pledge card. So as you can see, just as those levels we talked about, they will relate to the levels of giving. So what we're asking today is that you prayerfully consider that, what level that you can possibly participate in. And then take a card with you. I've asked the ushers, they've all locked the doors down, and we're going to sit here until we raise all the money. Okay, maybe we won't raise it all today. No, seriously, you don't have to take a card with you. You don't have to fill it out today. This is a pledge. This is a kind of your way of communicating with the team and with leadership how you can potentially contribute to the campaign, and will allow us to get started hopefully next spring. That's the goal. If we're on pace and the funds are there, we're going to get started then. If you go to the next slide, there's a display. I don't know if you guys saw the new display in the back over here, kind of by the north exit over here, back of the church. And there's also a board over here that has all of these vehicles set up in little slots. So what you do is just kind of grab one. And if you're not sure, grab any one, because on the back, it has all the different levels. All right? Take one with you. You can drop them off in the offering plate. You can drop them off in the church office. And there's little boxes next to each display, both by that exit and by the exit over here. And you can just slip the card right in the donation box. You just list your envelope number, your name, a little plug for Simply Giving. I don't know how many of you participate in Simply Giving, but it comes out automatically out of your bank account. You can just check this box and they'll automatically adjust it up for the difference over the next 16 months to help smooth it out. The other thing is you can just say, hey, I want to pay in cash. I'd like to do it all, let's say, right at the end of the year or the beginning of next year, slide it into the tax year that works best for your situation. That's absolutely fine. Also, this is a guide. If $1,600 is too much and $800 is you wanted to do $1,000, just cross it off and write the number in here, right? That helps communicate with us. Just let us know kind of how you want to do it. A couple of other things. We have, like I said, it's separate from normal giving. We're asking for an above and beyond gift. If you're able to contribute, we really appreciate it. The other thing is I looked at my garage at home. We have an SUV, a sedan, and a couple of bicycles. There's nothing wrong. In fact, I think it makes sense to involve the whole family, maybe even other family members who come to church and use the parking lot or, are touched by our welcoming presence here, right? So nothing wrong with my daughter Reese having a bicycle up there and my son Jackson back there having a motorcycle up there, and then, maybe a couple of cars for us. So kind of whatever works for you, however you can feel part of it. We're going to use this wall over here to communicate that. So for instance, a blank card every time we get a truck donation, we're going to have a truck up on the wall. You can kind of see the progress. Also, we'll have this speedometer, and that will kind of show us our progress on the way to $175,000. Again, it's an estimate. We'll get new estimates when it comes down to it, and obviously go with the project that costs the least and gets us the parking lot that can get us to stop thinking about parking lots and start talking about other things. But I think it's that project when it doesn't go away and then finally your spouse nudges you and says, hey, we really need to get this done. We really need to get it done. And this has been hanging over us for a while. let's stop talking about it and let's get it done. If you look at the speedometer one more time, the nice thing is we're not starting from zero here. We actually have a $10,000 grant from the Mission Endowment Board. That's very helpful in this process because they've grown the endowment to a point where they're able to contribute to this campaign. So we're starting with $10,000 there. Also, there's been an anonymous donor who has offered to match some pledges received. So in the next couple of months, if we can gather together $10,000, this person is willing to match the $10,000. So we're actually starting from $20,000, not from zero. It's a big number, I know it is. However, as you can see from the math, it works if we all work together to get it done. So, do we think this is doable? Do we think it's doable? Yes. Can I get an amen? Amen. All right, let's pave it forward and get it done. Oh, and one other thing, text to give. This might be a really good way to try that out. I think you just, it's in the pew card in front of you, and there's envelopes and text to give, and all the information you need at the two boards, and I'll stick around in the back if anyone has any questions afterwards. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Aaron. I told him nobody ever gets applauded for talking about money in parking lots, but it's happened at our services, so thank you. The stewardship team, the staff, worked on all the graphics. We have a member, Scott Stevenson, who is a civil engineer who specializes in parking lots, who has done all the work for us and also kind of was our liaison with the village, and referenced about the rendering. That was done by Dana Gronke, who is an architect living in Dallas, who grew up at Holy Cross, and so I just let the fingers do it. I said, how about if you could? And so that was really cool. She's just been in licensed architect for a couple of years. So and the sample borings, all the things, there's been no expense in terms of all the preparation. So just wanted you to know that.